Colorado Parks and Wildlife intends to release 15 wolves in western Colorado this coming winter, continuing an effort to repopulate the species in the state. The agency says it's aiming to release 30 to 50 wolves over the next 3 to 5 years. Now discussions are happening, focused on embracing the realities of the reintroduction effort. News 5's Owen Skornick-Hayes has details.
A conversation focused on the challenges of wolf reintroduction.
Give a glimmer of hope of how wolves and people can both thrive in the state of Colorado.
It's a nuanced issue and ever evolving. Ranchers have been especially critical of the effort.
Very legitimate concern, and it can be done, but it's a very complicated process to manage wolves and live with wolves.
Lenny Klingel-Smith is a Colorado rancher. He says he hasn't yet been affected by predation, but knows others who have.
The effects tend to be very localized and very extreme.
With Colorado Parks and Wildlife issuing plans to reintroduce more wolves in the state by winter's end, Klingel-Smith worries the procedure is rushed.
I think we should be going slower. I think we run the risk of growing faster than the speed of the agency.
But where will the wolves come from? That question remains unanswered. Colorado Parks and Wildlife can no longer import from Canada. Washington recently decided not to give up its wolves as they are still endangered in the state. That leaves Oregon, Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana as states to relocate from.
Obviously, we can understand the resistance to having a new predator on the landscape.
I also spoke with Karen Vardaman, director of Working Circle, a program working to reduce the vulnerability of cattle to predation.
I would say one of the biggest things has to do with cattle handling and the stress as a result of that.
She tells me it's about keen observation.
There's always a reason why they will take down one animal over another. That usually comes down to some sort of vulnerability factor. So the key is to identify what that is and address it.
While the idea is certainly not without controversy, these discussions hope to bridge mutual understanding.
Look at the big picture of wildlife management instead of simply through a lens of the wolf as the wildlife species to focus on, and that land conservation is actually the most important benefit to wildlife in the state that we can offer.
In Colorado Springs, Owen Skornick-Hayes, News 5.
Taking a closer look now, one of the main issues the state is continuing to deal with regarding the reintroduction of gray wolves is the animal's mortality rate within the state. Since reintroduction began in 2023, at least 10 wolves have died. This has led to several lawmakers asking Parks and Wildlife to pause the program until they can address the mortality rate. Republican gubernatorial candidate Greg Lopez saying during a meeting with Washington Fish and Wildlife, quote, "Wolves should stay where their odds of survival are far higher than anything Colorado can offer." Now let's take a look at the remaining wolves' latest movements. CPW publishes a map just like this one every month, highlighting the areas the animals have traveled. The latest one shows at least one wolf made its way extremely close to the Denver metro area, or at least its watershed. And you can also see a significant presence in both Boulder and Jefferson counties. Now, in February of this year, a lone female wolf made her way into our area. CPW says she was spotted in southeast Teller County in the Florissant fossil beds area, and the wolf moved out of the region the next month. Take a look at this one. This is another pattern being noticed by Parks and Wildlife recently. Several of the animals have made their way to our state's borders, with a couple crossing into states like New Mexico, Utah, and Wyoming. Now, if this happens, CPW has an agreement with 2 of the 3 states, which says the animal would be recaptured and returned to Colorado. If an animal crosses into Wyoming, however, that agreement is not in place.